'cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head.
Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Just One More Watch just moved house for the second time in 6 months, and I'm struggling to hang on to what little remains of my sanity this week. However, I thought it wouldn't be a weekend without a video, so here we are. Today the review of the Havan Valley Code 06 dive watch. Now this is the second watch I've reviewed from Havan Valley out of Taiwan. Big thank you to Eric for sending me this one in for review. I looked at his first effort, the Squadron 1 watch last year. An interestingly designed piece, a pilot's watch that thought it was a dive watch in a lot of ways. This Code 06 is the logical extension of that in some ways, but there's a lack of logic in other respects. Let's flip the camera and get into it. So what exactly do we have then in the, it should be noted, genuine leather pouchy today then? Well, in some ways we have a watch that is a logical progression from the Squadron 1, which was Havan Valley's first effort. Generous as always, Eric has included a rubber strap and a kind of Marine Nationale style paratrooper strap here, as well as the original bracelet. However, I feel that this watch has been pushed in a particular direction that is going to limit rather than broaden its appeal, and for a micro brand I'm not sure that's a good thing. Anyway, I shall discuss that over the course of the review. So the usual good stuff, we're going to do a loom shot, movement accuracy report, wrist shot. I'll pop it on a couple of these options for you as well, some good close-ups on the watch and some subjective analysis as always. Let's get on with it. It should be noted that just like the Squadron 1, this Code 06 comes with a 3-year warranty, not to be sniffed at, the best warranty you'll find this side of a Swiss luxury piece. So after the conundrum that was the Squadron 1, was it a pilot's watch you could dive with or a dive watch that helped you fly a plane? Eric's gone the logical route and made an out-and-out dive watch for his second piece. So 800 meters of water resistance, and we've got a helium release valve on the side of the case there, and it's a big cushion case, 43 millimeters in diameter. We've got 22 millimeters lug width. It's only 15 millimeters thick, so it's not outrageously thick, weighing in at 233 grams on this applied bracelet, and that is unsized today. I have not sized the bracelet. Why haven't you sized the bracelet, Jody? Well, I think on the bracelet, this watch is just too large for my 7-inch wrist. We've got 15 millimeters lug to lug. However, we use solid end links today. The Squadron 1 used straight end links. This piece uses solid end links and a very long protruding mid link. That gives this watch an effective lug to lug of closer to 58 millimeters. Just too big, I think, for my wrist, which is a shame because the bracelet is a decent enough item. There's a little bit of flex in it. It's not the most solid bracelet I've encountered, but we've got a nice brushing on the mid-link, polishing on the outer link. We've got a laser-etched Havan Valley logo on the clasp there, and it's a proper milled clasp. Though it should be noted, it only uses push pins. It does not use screw links, which is a little bit of a disappointment at this $550 US price tag, but as you can see, there's solid end links. So 316L stainless steel on the case and the bracelet, and we have got a very nice, very thick piece of domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating there. You need a big, thick piece of crystal for that 800 meters water resistance. And Eric has chosen to use the same movement as the Squadron 1. It's the Sellita SW290, which is a small second variant of the SW200, itself a clone of the ETA 2824. So we have 31 joules in this one, a 38-hour power reserve, 28,800 vibrations per hour, and a stated accuracy of -20 to +30. Now I'll pop up a movement accuracy report. This one mostly in the Wolf Winder, coming in a little bit fast, but very, very consistent there, averaging at +15 seconds per day. Unfortunately though, they've chosen to put a solid case back on this watch. I'll flip it over. To get the 800 meters water resistance with this model, we've sacrificed the old see-through case back on the last model. Unfortunate, because it was always nice seeing that little Swiss movement with a very attractive signed Havan Valley logo. This one just printed on the case back there. We've got 06 diver, water resistance, 80 atmospheres, and the Swiss movement. This one advertising also that it's 39 out of 99, so these are all limited run models, only 99 pieces of each. This is number 39. We have got a 60-click unidirectional dive time bezel here today, confirming this code 06 as a dive piece. However, it could do with a little bit more grip, to be honest. It's a little bit smooth, and the action of the bezel itself is quite gravelly. It's quite pronounced there, but not too bad overall. But we've got a couple of unusual features if you look closely at the dial, including a temperature sensor in the middle. I'll zoom in as close as I can to that. Perhaps you can make out there's a temperature gauge there, 0 to 40 degrees centigrade in the middle. Now again, this is a choice that is going to limit its appeal to certain segments of the market. There are still parts of the world that use the antiquated Fahrenheit scale, you know who you are, and this isn't going to necessarily appeal to them. Down here in Australia we use Celsius, we use centigrade. As you can see there's a slight blue colour to the 30. It's a pretty warm day here in Sydney. Too warm in my living room anyway, but there you go. Bit of a novelty feature, but one again that is going to appeal to certain sectors of the market but not to others, as is that unusual small second hand. Now have a good close look at it there. I got no problem with where it is. That's a kind of byproduct of the Sellita SW290 movement. However, Eric has chosen to realign the zero. I asked him why he had done that, and he said he thought it looked cool. Initially, when I was doing the movement accuracy report for this one, I took the zero to be the vertical, to the 12 o'clock where you would normally find it. It was only on second glance the next day that I realised I had started the movement accuracy report at what was effectively 15 seconds. Now, again, if you're going to do this, no problem at all. I've reviewed a whole bunch of pieces on the channel so far that kind of throw the rules of reading a watch out the window and write their own. But it's not going to be to everyone's tastes, and it's certainly something that owners of this watch are going to have to get used to. The lume is pretty good though, C3 Superluminova, and plenty of it, nice and bright on the hands there, and the little small second hand at the 8 o'clock, but plenty of it as well on the baton indices with the numerals all the way around the dial, so pretty decent lume overall. So there is the watch sitting on top of my 7-inch wrist, and as mentioned, I think those mid links just make it protrude a little bit too far. It really is struggling to sit on top of my wrist there. If you're a big boy, if you like big watches, if you've got 8-inch wrists or above, I think this is a solid choice. Still, it's certainly going to fit your wrist better than it fits mine, which is a shame because I think it is an unusual, but it has its own appeal, this one, a kind of charm all of its own. Certainly nothing else like it on the market, that's for sure. So that's it on the Marine Nationale style strap. Please let me know if I'm weighing this one incorrectly. This is my first encounter with one of these, and I did have to tighten it up pretty tight to get it to fit. So as I said, I think this one for big boys, not necessarily for guys with wrists the size of mine. So what about the other strap options included in the package then? Well, a kind of decent rubber strap here, kind of silicone, not bad at all. However, it's a $1.50 clasp on it, a little bit of a disappointment. I'm sure you'd be able to cut this one to size and use the clasp, the milled clasp from the bracelet if you wanted to play around with it. But nice to have a second option nonetheless. Little Havant to Valley logo etched onto the safety clasp there. I should point out that this is the Marlin model, a number of different colorways, each one with their own name, each one limited to 99 models. But I'm afraid too many misses, not enough hits for me. This code 06 diver from Havant to Valley. If you like the look, if you like the shape, if you want to get a micro brand that's a bit of an oddity with a Swiss movement, buy the Squadron 1. I think for $399 with that wooden box, the two straps, the same movement, I think you're better off with the previous model. I don't think that this one justifies an extra $150 US. And as mentioned, I think there are a few design cues in this watch that take it in a direction that is going to make it less appealing rather than more appealing. So buy the Squadron 1 then. So there you have it, not entirely convinced by this one from Havant to Valley. I think if you like the design and you want one of those Sellitas in a watch that doesn't say Swiss made on the dial, look at the Squadron 1 instead. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video when hopefully I'll have regained my sanity.